Good evening and welcome to the Shadows of New Orleans. Tonight we are joining a pair of werewolves and a pair of mages as they visit the infamous Singing Tree. The Singing Tree is a large oak that has wind chimes as well as other keepsakes and objects hung through the branches. Some of these are simple store-bought wind chimes. Some of these are handmade. Some of them are other similar objects, necklaces, pendants. Sometimes are even made out of chicken bones or other handmade crafts. The Singing Tree, however, has recently come to people's attention as the city has it cordoned off with a proposal to have it removed and replaced, as the tree itself is said to be dying and the objects hanging from it constitute both litter and a hazard. To that end, some have objections to the tree being removed and are therefore visiting frequently, attempting to disrupt any plans, or otherwise just looking into the situation. Tonight is a relatively quiet night at the Singing Tree as you all begin to approach, however. So with that, I will turn it over to you guys to introduce yourselves and we will go from there.
Boxer, she's got her hood pulled up over her head as she's looking at the tree. She kind of just stops in front of it, staring at all the stuff hanging from the branches. And after her after some of the conversations that she had last night, ending here, seeing if she can feel anything different from the rest of the city. She kind of closes her eyes for a minute.
Yeah, Jackson will be at the Singing Tree. He's kind of around whistling to something tuned to himself. Kind of waves when he sees Big Mac, but waits for her to approach him first.
She just she glances over at Jackson and gives him a nod and then motions to the all the treasures in the tree branches.
You know, I somehow think that would be a really bad idea to take those, if that's what you're thinking.
Up in the tree. I've taken some of the treasures from the tree and returned it to its rightful owner.
He kind of just raises an eyebrow. Huh. How did that go?
They're not really here and designed to be garbage. They're more, you look at how some of them are set up, like wind chimes and enders for people. They don't know, but they were important to somebody at some point.
He just nods. Oh well, I tried. So, did you find any information out? Got any ideas what we can do at this place?
I have not been in my need to speak to. I'm sure I will in time, but hopefully sooner than later. But no.
He just nods. Okay. So, what's on the agenda for this evening? Just come by to check the place out, see if it's still in one piece.
Definitely in one piece. And she kind of leans over and she says, "Why don't you find somewhere quiet to take a look on the other side?"
He nods. That's why I can serve as a lookout. If that's what you need.
Well, I want you to see what I saw over there.
He'll nod and say, "All right, lead the way then."
You know, sometimes people don't always believe those of my moon.
Says, well, that's not a smart thing.
As you're
Well-
talking, there's a sweet smell on the wind approaching the tree.
You smell that?
One that Jackson, I think, smelled before.
And I think Big Mac was there too when they went to the swamp.
that was
wasn't she?
Avalon.
No, that was Avalon.
That was
Okay.
Avalon. Yep.
But you both smell it, and you start feeling that wanton need of this person. Where this smell is coming from.
Starts looking around because curiosity.
There is a black woman wandering about towards the tree, but not towards the tree. Kind of casually towards the tree, I suppose.
John, are there any other people around?
Roll me a perception alertness.
Okay, let's see. Uncanny instincts.
Yeah, I could see that.
I have 2 successes.
Two successes. Has the doctor arrived? Let's start there.
Yeah, he shows up. He's dressed in his usual lab coat, probably just got off a shift from work. Smelling freshly formaldehyde and a little bit of cigarette smoke as he was smoking in the car. And still has a lit cigarette in his mouth. But he will extinguish it before walking up to the tree proper.
Additionally, you guys would notice this fellow kind of on the other side of the tree at first. But it looks like he's messing with like the barricades and stuff.
Big Mac kind of looks over at Jax and looks over at the guy messing with stuff, and she's like, "The fucking Joker."
Looks more like the Joker's cheap knockoff Korean brother or cousin, maybe.
Big Mac just kind of casually starts to move around and check things out. Has anything changed since the last time she was here?
Not a lot. It's relatively clean, organized.
Jackson is watching the Joker type dude.
He doesn't seem to have noticed you guys yet, but he's rearranging. It looks like moving barricades, that sort of thing.
She looks at Jackson. Something tells me he don't work for the city.
I suppose I could see it.
Um,
And he's just gonna kind of look over at the doctor and at Banty and just kind of wave at him and say, "You guys know this dude?"
Which fellow?
And he points over at Mr. Joker dude.
Isn't he? Isn't that one of those comic book peppers?
I thought he looked like the Joker myself. I'm Big Mac, by the way.
Bunty.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Dr. Miles Bjornson. Those people call me Doc.
Nice to meet you. She just kind of glances briefly at Jackson.
He just seems kind of bemused by this whole situation.
Miles is just, he's curious, so he's just gonna walk up closer to the guy and be like, hey, what are you doing?
He turns around and sees you guys and walks over to the caution tape, unties one end, and he goes to the other end and starts like he kind of positions himself. So he's got the back of one hand towards you guys. And he starts pulling the tape so it kind of unwinds around the tree. And as he bunches into his other hand, it kind of disappears.
Big Mac is half smirking at this.
He continues until the caution tape is gone, and then he kind of like rubs his hands together and holds them out, and you can see they're empty. And he says, "Well, the city said they had a problem with litter around this tree, so I'm cleaning it up."
Miles will give him the little golf clap for his magic trick.
He holds out his hand to you, and he says, "My name's Lee Miller."
Miles will shake his hand and say, Dr. Johnson, it's a pleasure to meet you.
And you as well. Yeah, as he takes his hand back, he says, seems you have something caught in your sleeve there, though, sir. And with a flick of his hand, he has what looks to be like a rose made out of the caution tape in one hand. And he holds it out to you. He says, perhaps you snagged it.
Miles will just kind of laugh and take the rose.
He turns around and starts moving more of the barricades and stacking up the like the big orange barrels. He says, really, it's a shame. I think with what we pay these city workers, they could clean up their litter rather than leave plastic garbage and these barrels.
So are you like one of them recycling hippies?
He turns around and he says, I don't know if I need to recycle, but repurpose is always a good goal to have. He takes the stack of barrels and he looks up inside it. He says, hang on, it appears someone stashed something inside one of these. One moment. And he starts reaching up in it, and as he does, he lowers it over himself. You can see it kind of shaking, and he's from inside. You can hear his voice kind of muffled, and he says, "Not sure what this is, but it appears to be stuck." And the barrel kind of stops moving. And from up above in the tree, you hear his voice again. He says, oh, there it is. I got it. And you see him sitting up on a tree branch above.
You know that gif of Natalie Portman doing like the sarcastic golf clap?
That's what Jackson's doing.
That's what Jackson's doing right now.
Big Mac is just like looking at this guy like, what the fuck did I just see?
Everybody roll me a perception alertness.
Fuck, what is the rules room name? There we go.
Standard.
Yes.
Flat perception?
Perception alertness.
Oh. Uncanny instincts?
Yes.
I have 2
I got
successes.
2 successes now.
It's
Four.
it's
Ooh.
number D10 F1, correct?
Yes.
I have 5 successes with my 10.
Oh no, it's F6. I'm sorry. I told you wrong.
F is your difficulty.
Oh, how did I get 9?
No
how does it say I have
wonder,
9
9.
successes?
What the fuck?
I have 2 successes.
10 F1? Like what?
I don't know how it says I have 9 successes, but I have 2 successes.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a flaw in that.
I will
I mean,
always do
theoretically, it's
F1 now.
possible to get 9 successes on a 4 dice roll.
Just like, what?
Roll very well, and have a special chance to know how.
I have 2 successes, so.
F5. With
All right. You guys would all notice another individual. I think we've all seen enough of Lee Miller to know what he looks like. So I will swap. And this guy is sitting on a nearby park bench, and he is like he's kind of clapping and like bouncing up and down a little bit.
Waves at him.
He waves back. He says, "Well, it's good to see you.
You as well.
Quite the show he's putting on, isn't it?"
It's something, all right.
Yeah, kind of leans forward and in like a obvious stage whisper, he goes, "You know, I know how he does that."
Do you?
And he chuckles and he says, "Yes, I've seen his shows before. He's quite good. But I know the secret."
What is it?
So what's his secret?
He kind of giggles a little bit almost. And he says, "Well, it's simple. It's magic."
Jackson says, "Yeah, and I'm a werewolf. What's a good explanation?" And as he says that, he kind of winks at Big Mac.
He gets up and he kind of dances on the park bench and he says, it is. He pulls out a deck of cards. He says, "And I'll bet you can guess my card from there, can't you, sir?" Yeah. Kind of dances around a bit. And then he goes to each of you guys and he says, "In fact, I'll bet he can guess each of our cards." And he hands you each one. The guy drops down from above and he says, "Well, with you, good sir, I'm sure they're all jesters."
Okay.
So tell me, good folk, what brings you all, and this was Lee talking again, the magician. What brings you all to this fine park this evening?
I like just coming here after work. It's nice and relaxing.
It is, isn't it?
I've heard tell that they want to tear down the tree because it is dead. So I thought I would come to see how dead it really is.
I believe the term they used was dying, because they very much prefer a state of difficult to identify.
It is either alive or it is dead. There is no difference.
Well, it depends on one's perspective, I suppose.
Does this tree look like
Doesn't
it's
appear.
close to being dead?
No.
They obviously did not talk to anybody with eyes. This tree is very much alive.
It is.
He chuckles and says, I suspect they talked to someone with money.
That is a pity. They are usually the most blind.
That there.
He turns around, and as he does, he pulls out a looks to be like a long sword, and he kind of gestures with it, and he says, well, are they blind? Or do they simply see what it is they wish to see? And he takes the sword and slides it down his throat.
I think they see dollar signs. Big Mac kind of
I would say they are
disregards
blinded.
she disregards the barriers and kind of makes her way over to the tree.
He just stands by it, but he takes the sword out, holds it out in front of him, and kind of pushes it, and so, like pushes the point into his chest until it folds all the way. He says,
Okay.
some of them are convinced you have to see a certain thing, that the world works a certain way. Others convince themselves because it's profitable, pleasant. There are many reasons why the world might work a certain way to people. So, to that end, you say again, I suspect that there's only things wrong with this tree, the things people wanted to see.
Reality is a very strange thing in that way.
It is.
I'll have to see if I know any musicians or artists perhaps do a little event here, show people that it is far from dead. Let them see with their own eyes, beyond just the black and white of the paper.
I don't know that you necessarily need to convince anyone. I think it's more a matter of having the right people speaking.
While they were doing that, Big Mac just kind of, like I said, she's disregarded the barrier and is walking over to the tree. And she's going to put both her hands on it and one of her ears to it. She's kind of
Okay.
like really just focusing on the tree.
All right.
Being all weird.
People will start to hear crying at the edges of their awareness.
Creepy.
Yes, but getting the right people to talk requires getting people interested, getting people connected so that they have reason to. If you suddenly make a big show of public support of the tree, anything they do to the tree then can harm their positions, and they will quickly change their tune.
I would agree with the logic there. It's an interesting and strange city. I think part of getting them to listen is to shock them into waking up and paying attention.
Shocking them depends on them where you wish to shock them, because shocking people can be very easy.
That's true. There is the sudden shock of the unexpected. As he says that, he pulls out a Zippo lighter and with a flick he lights it, and his the sleeves of his jacket kind of start burning too, like it goes up to his shoulders. He holds his arms out as they're flaming. He goes, the abrupt, the unexpected, perhaps even the dangerous.
Jackson is gonna slip off over to where Big Mac is.
She looks like she's creepily hugging the tree, like she's got an ear to it and both of her hands on it.
He's gonna slip around to the other side of the tree then.
Meanwhile, the guy over on the park bench is just clapping along.
I'm going. Jackson's gonna take a look around. Is there anyone like that can see him if he's standing on the other side of the tree from the current group?
Not really.
He's just going to look over at, and he's just gonna like reach around and tap.
And she'll kind of look at him.
Did you have something you want to show me?
She kind of like glances around. The other two seem fairly occupied with the Joker and the Trash King.
And he just kind of, sorry.
They seem relatively focused on what's going on there.
Jackson's just kind of like looks back at the other group and says, "If they say anything, we can say that we like just slipped off to have a quickie or something. I'm sure they'll understand."
She nods and just kind of all right, that works. Yeah.
So yeah, he will walk back around behind and pull out his phone and use like the shiny surface of his phone to cross the gauntlet.
All right.
What is the gauntlet difficulty here?
5.
With F, then the difficulty number, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have
that's
one
right.
success.
Use the blade of her knife to pop over. That's fine, if I recall. What did you say the gauntlet was? Sorry.
5. For those of you who are listening.
I'm listening, but I don't cross the gauntlet yet.
The Mr. Miller there is actually sort of a clown. Jacket's still on fire. He will walk up and he says, "You see, there's other ways to shock people into awakening. Paying attention. And that's simply to break the illusion of what they see so radically that they can't simply explain it away."
That in and of itself is almost a paradoxical existence.
The trick I have found is to give them something that they want to believe in, but that contradicts everything they currently believe in.
I'm sure that's my task, considering everybody's different.
He turns around and says, "Well, that's true, of course. But see a man on fire who's not wounded. Just as an example." Yeah, we'll walk around the tree once, and he kind of pats out the flames on his jacket. And he says, "You see, there's just too many people willing to only see what they want to see. And we can't get too dramatic in showing them an alternative."
Perhaps a burst of growth from the tree.
I'm sure a burst of growth wouldn't hurt. Show them that this tree is still healthy, whole.
So, what do we see on the Umbra side?
Um, a sort of a strange man leaning, excuse me, against a tree. And he kind of
Strange.
waves to you.
Tree.
Back.
Do I recognize this person as someone that was here before?
No, he is probably a late middle-aged man. He's got a hot dog in one hand and a slice of apple pie in the other.
You really should try a Big Mac sometime. I'm not sure that a hot dog can compare to the goodness of the Big Mac.
He says, "Well, as it is, I'm a fan of the old American classic."
Yeah, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Well, stick around. Pretty sure I've got a baseball game coming on soon enough.
Baseball game, huh? Where is it coming on? She just kind of looks around.
Yeah, pulls out what looks like a small radio. He says, it just wouldn't be a evening in America without a hot dog and a baseball game. But I don't think you came to discuss the finer culinary points of food stand food.
No.
I didn't think so.
Who are you?
You look like you're looking for something, however.
I mean, she's looking at the tree. I'm looking at what I came here to look for, but you weren't here before, so who are you?
Well, perhaps I was here, but I was simply napping. It's a great American pastime. Nap on a hammock.
Jackson kind of has his head tilted to the side watching this dude, and he's kind of scratching his head. He says, "So are you like the ultimate American dude, bro?"
Well, I mean, it's kind of my thing. Right? I mean, it's
Exactly.
That's-
It kind of leans in closer as he's talking and is staring at him.
that is why people come here, isn't it? Isn't that the goal? Get to America. Be American. Hot dogs and baseball and fried chicken on Sundays and drinking beer on Friday nights.
Jackson kind of taps his lips and says, "I don't know. I kind of rather be myself than be American. Gotta have that, uniqueness factor."
And he just he stands up, finishes the hot dog, and he kind of licks his fingertips a little bit, and he starts clapping. And he says, "Exactly. And where can you be yourself and be unique more than anywhere else? That was the whole point. That's what this whole country is built about."
The American dream.
And he
She's.
turns
I'm not
around,
even kidding.
clapping, and he points and he says, "Exactly." That's
She's. Remember what I said when she was like up, like leaning in closer and closer.
it's all about having hope for tomorrow. There's new greatness.
So
Something
I am
more.
So you're a spirit, right?
And he says, "Well, I like to think we all have spirit, don't you?"
I don't know. I've met some people who really, I would say, don't have any kind of spirit. But yeah, nice to meet
That's
you,
unfortunate.
sir. And he has like a 2-finger salute.
And he kind of waves his hand. Enough with that. Enough with that. This isn't when General Lee's not here. Christ.
I feel like if I wanted to meet a car spirit, I'd want to meet like a cool car spirit, not some like car spirit from a TV show.
General's a lot more than that. It's all about more than what you see. It's all about tomorrow. What's next? It's over the next horizon. Don't go down the road to get to the end. Go down it to find the fork.
I think you'll find sporks more often these days. He kind of just says under his breath.
Yeah, chuckles and says, "Well, around here in New Orleans, you might find po' boys more than hot dogs. Po' Why are we all standing over here talking, right? You got some friends on the other side.
I won't say they're friends. We just met them. It takes more than just meeting someone to be friends, you know.
Yeah, but the one he's got card tricks. That's the man you gotta be friends with.
The Joker knockoff?
Aren't we all jokers at heart?
No,
Well.
I'm completely serious.
Uh-huh. Sure you are. Sticks her finger in her mouth. Hello, sure.
He says, well, come on. No sense dawdling over here. A lot more conversation over there. Maybe they're a little more hopeful, a little more lively.
I'm still curious as to why you're hanging out at the tree. How come I didn't, like I said, I didn't see you last time, so this tree must have some kind of meaning, or you just found a new hangout. She's looking for the fences that she saw last time.
They are not around. And he says, well, I was here last time, but some people, they like to try and box in dreams, and everything's got to be neat and orderly and compartmentalized, and it's got to make sense, and it's got to go logical.
Little fence.
Sometimes you need somebody to think outside the box, as it were. Open a couple windows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't have sit-ins and rallies and Burning Mans and bluegrass festivals just to sit in a box. Follow the quota.
No, I didn't party. Are you implying that we should have a party here to help save this tree?
I mean, it certainly wouldn't hurt, right? A little more action, a little more excitement. Get some people here who dream a little bit. Let them see a little something different.
She's done. She's gonna pull her finger out of her mouth and stick it in Jackson's ear.
He's just going to sigh.
Okay. Why are you so serious all of a sudden?
I'm not serious. You're serious. Mm.
All right. Well, this certainly wasn't what I was expecting, but it's definitely better than I was expecting. Just figured I'd clarify that now, so I didn't.
Well, here we don't want to startle anybody, so let's over in the edge of the woods there. We can. I got some supplies. We'll meet your other folks from there. And he heads off towards the edge of the woods, and you can see him pick up like a picnic basket and like the classic red and white checkered picnic blanket.
You're all set, man. Go you, mad props.
You're able to tell right away at what point he just inside the edge of the forest, he manifests back on the other side and starts walking out of the trees again.
Still wanting to check out the tree on this side, though, just the tree itself.
That's fine.
As she did before. Big tree hug.
Okay.
So I'm gonna guess it's the same roll as before.
It is, yes.
Holy monkey, she's got 5 successes this time.
All right. Well, the tree is definitely more lively on this side. Um,
Okay. She says in spirit speech as she's hugging the tree. I'm trying to figure out how to save you. How to awaken you. How to
and
make
you
want
get
to fight for you.
you get
The sacred wild forces around you.
you catch just a hint of a cinnamon scent, and then you hear the voice chuckling of the man, and he says, "I've got apple pie. I don't mean the kind you need a fork for."
Oh. She just kind of glances at Jackson. Does the tree have any response? Just that it's
Not really.
more alive. And then she just says, "We're working on it." She kind of Jackson again. Give Kim an opportunity to intro here. Yeah, so Big Mac's gonna go chat more with American Dream, head that way after saying what she has to say to the tree.
All right, so everybody kind of rejoins at the tree itself. It appears like a couple more folks are approaching.
So Elizabeth is walking up, talking to another person. And well, the first thing you hear her say is, yeah, no, I know dead things when I see them, and this tree isn't dead. So she's kind of ushering this other person towards the tree.
Then the other person walks up to the tree and looks it over a little bit. kind of nods and says, "Yeah, it's definitely well, like you say, it seems to be healthy."
See, not there. Now I just gotta get on to change your mind.
But what's the accusation? What do they think is wrong with it? Perhaps I can meet with whoever's making these claims and assist. Seem to have some incorrect views.
It's a government saying that the tree is dying and that it's a hazard.
And he kind of shakes his head and says, "No, I didn't see any indication, anything like that."
Government talking about things it doesn't know about. Irish, that's so odd.
See, that guy knows. She just like holds her hand out for a fist bump.
Awkward fist bumps. Awkwardly put his hand back.
She's kind of lukewarm to the touch. But yeah. Well, you know what would really piss him off? I got a bunch of really rich people together to make him behave. And she starts chuckling deviously as she rubs her hands together.
And this guy with this picnic basket, he says, "You know, something like that could have one heck of a dedication ceremony." And he turns to the other folks and he says, "Well, what do you think, folks? I mean, you have maybe some chairs up front. Someone get up and give a speech. Talk about the history of the tree, importance of it."
Black tie gala, that would piss him off so much.
He looks up and he says, "What do you suppose all that stuff up in the tree means? I mean, people don't do something like that for nothing."
Memories would be my guess.
Memories indeed.
What was explained to me, at least.
What's wrong with my merit medium? Will she hear any whispers of the dead around the tree?
There's some, not any extraordinary amount by any means, but there are some.
Anything relevant to do with the tree?
No.
Okay.
Jackson just pops out from behind the tree, looks over at the group, and walks over.
Long time no see. She winks
I
at him.
know, right? He winks back. And he looks over at Elizabeth, kind of raises one eyebrow, and holds out a hand for a handshake. "Nice to meet you. I'm Jackson."
Do you just... Does that make sexual?
He kind of blinks.
My name is also Elizabeth. That I just. You're very flirty.
All I did was say hello, he says, but he has a big smile on his face when he says it.
Sure, Jack.
Pardon? I didn't quite catch that.
She said, sure, Jack.
He kind of wrinkles his nose. Don't say that. That makes me think of Jack Nicholson.
I was thinking of Captain Jack Harkness from Doctor Who, but whatever.
He thinks and nods. I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was me out of character just getting the reference.
Appreciate your honesty, Joey.
Great.
This part is I couldn't remember that character, but I knew that he was similar to a character, and it was that character. I just didn't know the name. I feel so bad now.
The older guy gets up and comes over and he looks up at the tree and he says, "You suppose something like that might be dreams instead of memories? And people put them things up there for something. Maybe they had themselves a reason."
Could be both. A way of remembering and a way of hoping.
Kind of looks at the guy with the picnic basket and she's thinking, eh.
A way of remembering dreams.
Maybe even a way to kick them off. You know, a fresh start.
Elizabeth's gonna take off her shoes, pull a scarf out of her bag, and start climbing the tree.
All right.
You'll see her head poke out when she's on a branch, and she's tying the scarf around the branch. And then she comes back down. I mean, it doesn't have to be a fancy scarf or anything, but
The magician looking fellow, clown looking fellow comes over to you and as he approaches, he goes, "Don't talk to me about scarves." And he rubs his head a little bit and he starts rubbing his eyes and he says, "You see, every time I start thinking about him, I get this god awful headache. Like my head is just saying," kind of starts making this, slides his hand down over his face and starts pulling with both hands and pulls a bunch of colored scarves out, tied together out of his, looks like it kind of comes out of his mouth or nose. It's hard to tell from behind his hand, and he says, "See, what did I tell you? I start thinking about
Yeah.
scarves, and the next thing you know, my nose is pouring."
And then
says-
Natalie Portman burns.
You know the problem? Your nose starts to run. Two things come to mind. First, you better catch it. And second, where's a handkerchief? And then he puts a hand up to his ear and he pulls out a handkerchief and he says, and then I got those on my mind too. Puts his hand up, pulls the second one out. He said, you wouldn't believe what kind of hassle this can be, I tell you.
So tell me, Mr. Magician, why do noses run but feet smell?
He stops and he looks at you and he goes, that is a very valid question.
Elizabeth's going to look over to the person she brought along.
And
Did you put a significant amount of evidence together in like a week? Undeniable scientific base.
I could just about put something together now to some degree. I mean, if you're just looking at something saying yes, this tree is healthy and no, it doesn't need to be removed. That's not real difficult to do.
Oh no, I was talking about science-based, undisputable facts, evidence to present at a black tie gala.
He said, kind of rubs his hands together. So you would like a report, preferably with a memo. I can absolutely take care of that. That's even billable time to the university.
I'll give him a fist bump.
She says, I'll get started on the documentation and get back to you shortly. The rest of you folks, please enjoy your picnic and we'll see where we go from here.
Elizabeth's going to turn around. I have no idea who you guys are, but you're also trespassing into the danger zone. So I'm assuming you don't want the tree gone. You guys want to help?
Sure. I can personally.
I think that's pretty much what most of us were coming to the conclusion of.
And the man with the picnic basket says, "See, now that sounds like a goal and a plan. Save the tree, and we're going to do it with solid evidence. Maybe hold ourselves a shindig afterwards. You know,
I'm sure we
plenty
can
of
find
space out
performers
front
to
here."
entertain. And she's eyeballing the magician when she says somebody to entertain.
He chuckles and says, "Well, I just do what I do."
I can speak with a friend of mine, see if we can get some catering. He runs a farm, bro. Definitely a local flavor.
Local barbecue is the best.
I think he does more public place.
That's fair, but yeah, more local community, the better. Not from around here, so
Perhaps we need to be from around
they
here.
don't know me.
You know, get more people showing up, meeting, getting to know one another, bringing hot dogs. We're missing some golden opportunities here.
I will spread word with the people I know and see what we can get going. Do we have a date when we want to have this party shindig?
Elizabeth's gonna pull out her phone, click through a couple of pictures on her calendar. Just say, blah, date.
Or was the day we actually do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we need to plan this OOC a little bit.
Yeah.
I will start spreading the word.
Yeah.
The guy at the picnic basket says, well, I'm sure one of you folk will be kind enough to stop out and let me know, what's decided.
Of course.
Oh, you know what we could do? We can have a festival in the park.
Festivals are good for bringing people out.
Oh, yeah.
That's around the Columbus Day. Perhaps we can have something tying history to these tree on that day for focus of the festival.
Well, maybe some national news company. Them on it too. And like pull out a notebook, mumbling to herself and writing incredibly fast and whatnot.
And the guy dressed like the Joker, he says, well, I gotta be going. Hopefully you guys get this thing planned. And if you need a little entertainment, give me a call. Use my card.
And he will take the card, look at the name on it, if it has one.
The guy with the picnic basket turns around and he says, well, I mean, if we're gonna plan a party, we might as well, chat and eat a little bit while we do, right? He says, yeah, I got some food to share. Let's go ahead and dig in and set a date and see who needs what and who can help with what, and let's get this thing on the road, eh?
So, without even thinking about it, because this will be funny, Elizabeth starts chowing down. Like, 2 minutes later, she's just gonna stand up, brush off her skirt, and say, excuse me, and, walk off.
also help himself to some food. I think the guy. I don't think I probably introduced myself. I'm Dr. Bjornson.
The older guy gets up and he says, "Well, I'm off. I got, places to go, things to see, do, eat."
I'll be by sometime soon here to come visit.
Jackson just stands up and goes, "Yep, yeah, we gotta go. Our fridge is running and we gotta catch it." And he kind of winks it.
She
The
raises an eyebrow.
older guy says, "It seems to be a very strange problem to have."
Yeah. I mean, it's not really a fridge. It's just one friend we have who's a cold asshole. So we need to go keep him from running. If you get, what I'm saying.
Well, it was nice to see you.
Please. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, she has fleas. I gotta go pick him out of her hair too. He says as he winks at Big Mac again.
She just shakes her head.
The guy finishes picking up his picnic basket and he says, "Well, hopefully I'll see all you folks a little more often. We can get some parties going and really enjoy ourselves, have something to look forward to."
Real.
Yeah, Jackson's gonna head off.
All right. Well, you've headed off. I think everyone else is pretty well wandering out there. Is there anything anyone wants to take care of yet?
I'll also get Elizabeth the business card so they can get in contact.
Okay, yeah, sure. Information list. Whoever wants it needs her information.
Bunty will take it.
Jackson.
Should we
Sorry.
meet up here sometime to have another meeting about this?
That's fine.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, and as everyone parts ways, the man with the picnic basket heads back into the woods. And he kind of fades from view. So as each of you leaves to kind of pursue bits and pieces with this new information, we will wrap up there. There's been another Shadows of New Orleans scene, a pursuit of more information on the singing tree. Thank you, players, for playing, watchers for watching, and we look forward to seeing you another evening.